Welcome to the most honest and respectful Week 9 NFL Power Rankings. Every week I spin this wheel to see which top 10 ranked team gets cursed. Last week, and I'm very sorry about this, Vikings fans, it cursed the Vikings. I finally put the Chiefs in the number 1 curse spot last week, and they immediately lost to the Broncos. So no fooling. This has been the most ruthless season of my power rankings curses ever. The only power rankings nobody wants to be on. Fitting for this dumb sports YouTube channel. Let's rank the best teams in the NFL this week. Thanks to everyone who helped get this channel over 500,000 subscribers. You guys are awesome. Shout out to Will Keys, my writing partner, my co-conspirator. Without Will, this channel would be dead in the water. Shout out to Johnny Barks for helping me edit some of the videos around here. I edit the power rankings. But Johnny, you're awesome. And Tom Grossi, you're the best fucking partner to do shows with I could ask for. And if you want to support this channel outside of subscribing, don't forget to check out my company, BenchwarmerBrew.com. We got the Losers Blend, we got the Fuck the Refs Blend in case your team gets fucked by the refs. For this week, I'm adding a new tier, the Goodest Dude tier. This goes to a guy who is just the goodest dude and needs the respect put on his name, and this week it's Big Kirko. Nice guy. Funny guy, good football player who never really gets the respect or credit he deserves, and the NFL is worse without you playing Kirk Cousins. My suggestion, do whatever Aaron Rodgers is doing for his Achilles.
Well, I'm not drinking any piss, and the dolphin mating frequency, that was a joke as well.
No! Kirk Cousins, roughly 24 hours after tearing his Achilles, still showed up for the kids. You are the goodest dude, Kirk.
His dudeness or duder or, El Duderino.
Starting in hell, New York Giants fans, you've been here before. In the midst of having your high expectations not just squashed, but trying to understand how everything you thought you knew about the NFL, about your team, about the basic principles of the sport of football is completely wrong. Hell ends when this season finally ends, Giants fans. And in heaven, guided by the blinding lights of love, much like Taylor Heineke. Congrats on starting this week, Taylor. I give reprieve for Raiders fans.
Huh?
I'm putting you in heaven, Raiders fans. Josh McDaniels has been fired. You will no longer be handcuffed to his ineptitude. Look, I hate the Raiders. I really do, but I am legit feeling happy for Raiders fans today. Maybe it's because I know how quickly Josh McDaniels can ruin a team. Now, go out there, Vegas, and hire you someone who actually makes you think McDaniels wasn't that bad. Number 11, the Chiefs. That's right, Kansas City is now a team desperately trying to get back into the top 10. And you're lucky to be at 11, Kansas City, after that sad performance against the Broncos. Honestly, the Raiders might have beat you on Sunday. Sky Moore dropped a touchdown pass. Mecole Hardman muffed a punt. Will Levis helped Tennessee realize D-Hop is good. Mike Evans did not move. It might be a while before your offense feels like it did with Tyreek Hill. Your defense is good, but nobody gives a shit because your offense isn't as fun this year. Number 10, I've got the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo. You have been warned. You have 2 weeks to prepare for the juggernaut Denver Broncos on Monday Night Football. Get ready. Okay, I guess you've got a game in between, but get ready. Actually, you got a pretty big one on Sunday in Cincinnati. One of the big revelations from Buffalo's win was their emergence of their rookie tight end, Dalton Kincaid, who caught his first career touchdown to go along with 65 yards. Both Kincaid and Khalil Shakir had breakout games against the Bucs, and despite limited targets for both guys this season, they're both top 5 in receiver success rate this year, meaning they're making the most of their limited opportunities. Kincaid, Shakir, Gabe Davis, let the defense game plan for Diggs so Josh Allen can break you with the rest of these dudes. Also, Rasul Douglas, that should help tremendously on the back end of your defense that went from having 8 picks with Trey White on the field in the first 4 weeks to 0 since week 5. Douglas is a straight ball hawk. And yes, I know your linebackers were a big part of those picks, and Matt Milano not being there, huge loss. But I think overall, this will help in turnovers. Number 9, Seahawks. Seattle at Baltimore is one of the most intriguing games on the schedule next week. One of the most important. Lamar Jackson is 17-1 against the NFC in his career, which is troubling for Seattle considering they did in fact join the NFC back in 2002. I like the addition of Leonard Williams by the Seahawks to their defensive line. I've given Seattle's defense a lot of love in these power rankings this year, but Draymond Jones has not played as well for Seattle as he did here in Denver. His replacement, Zach Allen, who was much maligned in Denver during their early struggles, has more tackles, more sacks, more tackles for a loss, and more QB hits than Jones. We might have gotten you there, Seattle. That makes up for everything. We are now even. Number 8, I've got the Cowboys. I don't know where the hell Deron Bland came from, but he's been spicy as fuck for the Cowboys. Okay, I do know Bland was a 5th round pick out of Fresno State last year, and he's picked off 9 passes since then, including 4 this year, including 3 of them he's taken back to the house, the most in a single season in Dallas history. For a team that lost Trayvon Diggs, Bland has been an absolute godsend for the Cowboys defense. I also want to highlight one of the strangest players in football, 6'4", 262-pound defensive end Sam Williams, who's been playing as a gunner on punts for the Cowboys. Williams has reached over 19 miles per hour twice this season and had a tackle, forced a fair catch, and blocked a punt for a safety against the Rams. That's truly terrifying. Honestly, I think the U.S. government should intervene and ban him as a threat to public safety. A man that big should not be allowed to run that fast. Number 7, the Ravens. I know, it's low or high. The Ravens are the quietest juggernaut in football right now, boasting the 7th best scoring offense and the best overall scoring defense. Despite losing J.K. Dobbins, they still have the 2nd most rushing yards in the NFL, and Lamar Jackson is complementing that ground attack, taking care of the ball with just 3 turnovers through 8 games. I saw Brian Baldinger post this throw Lamar made against Arizona, and I think we all just need to appreciate it. We need a name for this throw. 1 foot, sidearm, touchdown. I drew a blank, so I asked for your help on Twitter, at Brendan Perna if you want to follow there. And some of your suggestions were very good. We got the K throw, which I like. I'm just scared Lamar Jackson might make this throw 3 times in a game. Then we've got the Cardinal sin, nice. The kick flick, I like. The nonchalant throw, the sidearm showing, the stomp rocket, the LaMichael Jackson. Oh, there it is. There it is, the LaMichael Jackson. Fudge yes. That's the name of the throw. Number 6, the Jaguars. I think your offensive line with the addition of Ezra Cleveland got better. And now it's time to stop letting your foes hang around.
Gonna get that W, dominate the foe. Carolina Panthers.
Oh, sorry, wrong cat team. But yes, dominate your foe. Over 350 yards of offense against the Steelers is impressive. Ridley and Ingram were in the mix. Everything is trending in the right direction for the Jaggies, including my favorite kicker, Brandon the Gooch Slayer McManus, who was a perfect 4 for 4, including a 51-yarder in those moist, oh, those moist field conditions. Number 5, the Bengals. The Bengals are quickly rounding into form as a team that's poised to make another deep postseason run. And they're going to find out exactly where they stand in the AFC when they host the Bills on Sunday Night Football, a rematch of a shockingly dominant playoff victory for the Bengals last January. This is still a team with a negative point differential, getting outscored by 13 in their first 7 games, but I see that changing dramatically over the course of the second half of the season now that Joe Burrow fixed his Millhouse calves.
Why didn't Lisa dump me? Is it because of my small calves? They're the hardest place to add mass.
I would have liked to see Cincy add another running back for low cost at the trade deadline, Joe Mixon has 112 attempts this season, while no other back on the roster has more than 7. So they may very well be, fucked if anything happens to him. T. Higgins is yet to get going this season, just over 200 yards in a contract year, but showed some flashes against San Francisco, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him break out and get back to normal in the next few games. Overall, I think the Bengals' weakness right now is their dependence on 2 skill position players, Mixon and Jamar Chase. Those aren't bad players to hang your hat on, but I'd like to see them be able to spread the wealth so defenses can't lock in on those guys. Number 4, the Lions. Honestly, Detroit, I thought you should have beat the Raiders' ass even harder. Yeah, harder than pressuring Jimmy G on 71.4% of his dropbacks. Sure, that's the most in a game since 2018, but I thought the Raiders' offense could have looked even worse. Was it bad enough for Mark Davis to fire Josh McDaniels? Yes, but you should have beat the Raiders so mercilessly that Mark Davis fired himself. Or even worse, got a normal haircut for an adult man. I cannot believe nobody noticed this yet, but maybe a big primetime game is what it took, and a limb McNeil had one with 6 quarterback pressures and 2 sacks. But how perfect of a name is a Lim McNeil for the Lions? A Lim McNeil. Kneecap. A Lim kneecap. Reaching? To plug the shirts I have for Lions fans? Link below, sure. Amon-Ra St. Brown had his 11th 100-yard game, passing Roy Williams, not Calvin Johnson, for the most through 3 seasons in Lions history. Any Lions receiving record that doesn't belong to Megatron? Always a shock. Number 3, the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are 6-2 and have a chance to get better in the next few weeks. Jalen Ramsey already made his debut and had an instant impact, intercepting a pass, forcing a fumble, and allowing 0 yards in coverage. Their left tackle, Terran Armstead, is eligible to return from IR and play Sunday in Germany against the Chiefs. Plus, safety Javon Holland has been cleared from concussion protocol and is good to go against the Chiefs on Sunday as well. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes still has the flu, but the Chiefs are plenty vulnerable right now, and I know Taylor Swift isn't making the trip to Frankfurt. Nobody will say it, but it's because she does not like the Germans. Meanwhile, Tua loves all countries and all people, and leads all QBs in passer rating, yards, and touchdowns, and the Dolphins, as an offense, lead the league in total touchdowns with 9 more than the Bills right now. A good reason for that, Tua's only been sacked 12 times, and they've kept the heat off him with a rushing attack that's averaging 5.9 yards per carry, and Davon Achan is eligible to come back after the Germany game. Miami could be the best team in terms of guys returning from injury, maybe ever. Achan, Armstead, Holland, and Ramsey's back.
Bitte habt Mitleid.
That's German for please have mercy. Number 2, got the Eagles. I have to put the Eagles ahead of the Dolphins because, of course, my memory goes back more than 1 week. If Jalen Hurts found his rhythm against the Commanders and is going to keep it, the Eagles are going to return to the Super Bowl. One interesting stat I found is that Jalen Hurts has thrown 8 interceptions when the Eagles have had the lead, but hasn't thrown a single pick while Philly has either trailed or been tied. You know you can just run the shit out of the football when you're ahead, right, Philly? You can do that. We all kind of picture the Eagles as having this elite defense, but in reality, they're just 19th in scoring. Kind of shocking, but the Eagles only have 4 interceptions as a defense, which I think is a big reason they went out and traded for Philly native Kevin Byard, a guy with 27 career picks to his name, and another reason they wanted to swing a deal for Jalen Johnson, who ended up just staying put in Chicago. And number 1, the Denver fucking Broncos. You beat the best team, you become the best team. Oh, aren't you scared of the number 1 spot being cursed, Berna? Is a drunk scared of a hangover? Is a billionaire scared of paying extra to swap out a side at dinner? Is Phillip Rivers scared of the rhythm method? No.
No contraception.
No, we are the cursed mother lickers, and now we're the best team in fucking football, and nobody can stop us. Nobody! Because it's our bye week. Oh, am I breaking my own rule by putting them on the power rankings on the bye week? There are no rules here. There are no rules here. You should know that by now. The Denver defense, since the Dolphins game, is now only the 4th worst defense in scoring. The leap it's pretty insane. We could be the best defense in 2 weeks. Take note. Plus, Russell Wilson is out there giving kids hundos for Halloween. He's straight up dropping bills. And I hope the only QB who is statistically better than Mahomes in every category on earth drops the real bills after the bye. That's right, for 1 week we are nemesis, Buffalo. Okay, let's see who this barely being held together curse wheel curses this week. Won't be the Broncos, I know that. You won't. You're scared of my Broncos curse wheel. You're scared of them. Number 9. Who was that? Oh, it's the Seattle Seahawks. Baltimore is going to eviscerate you, Seattle. Thank you for getting vengeance on Seattle. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here. We're a 500,000 sub channel now, so get on board, because this shit's going to the moon.